меня тоже свое есть обеспечение как-то. Ну вот видишь, как все. Ну ладно, ладно.
Сначала очень крутые зерна, прям разные вкусы есть, разные эти. Мы пробовали, кстати, брать в таком-то кофе месте на рынке, но один кофе был капец кислый, ну, даже цену просили кофе такой, но второй был неплохой. Поэтому, наверное, возьму одну пачку на рынке, одну половину на кофейне, ну, чтобы вам все показать хоть. Ну что, зря иду туда, что ли, правда? Любимое место Михаила, ветеринарка. На самом деле не очень, но да ладно. Здесь у нас есть строительный магазин Рона. Все вам что нужно для дома.
Серьезно.
Одна из вещей, которая поразила меня при переезде в Канаду, это резкие перепады температуры. Чтобы вы понимали, на прошлой неделе было минус 20, а на этой плюс 2. Послезавтра минус 7, а потом плюс 3. То есть вот так постоянно. Когда я сюда переехала, в Канаду в смысле, на улице был плюс, была зеленая трава, на следующий день стало минус миллион, и выпало много очень снега. Не очень завидую метеозависимым, крепите себя. Здесь уже начинаются всякие кафе и рестораны, вот этот барли, это vegan place, там всякие кашки, асай болы, всякие такие, да, сейчас будут уже...
Я смотрел уже, что там, ну нет, ну вот это...
Рестораны для ужина, более-менее для бранча, может быть.
Снять.
Water зимой находится прямо там, в здании, а летом обычно стоят палатки или на улице, ну и какие-то уже все остается на всех местах. Вот здесь летом стоят палатки со всякими цветами, кактусами, суккулентами. Вот здесь, где вот эти металлические штуки, там фудкорт, готовить еду, можно прийти попробовать всякие классные штучки. Ну и рынок вот здесь, вход.
Ладно. Да, ну, да.
И выглядит вот так. Здесь
так,
все, что хочешь, и мясо, и хлеб, и рыба, и просто все. Я решила, что цены я вам покажу в другом влоге, потому что сейчас я, во-первых, не успею, а во-вторых, мне кажется, интереснее каждый продукт отдельно вам показать. Вообще, на самом деле, если мне выбор между супермаркетом и рынком, я обязательно пойду на рынок, потому что, как правило, здесь свежее, и летом я прям постоянно покупаю здесь мясо, потому что, ну, идти буквально 20 минут, а качество в разы лучше.
До тех пор делайте это по-старому. 60 секунд, которые ты не забудешь никогда. Начинаем. Ваша задача просто смотреть на картинки и повторять за мной слова. Первое слово – слово «колодец». Well. Представьте, что огромный великан наступил в колодец. Well, well, well. Подушка. По-английски будет pillow. Pillow. Представьте, что подушку перед пилой. Pillow, pillow, pillow. Швабра. Как и глагол «мыть шваброй» будет mop. Представьте, что шваброй моют mops. Или мопсом моют пол. Mop, mop, mop. Пара. Пара по-английски couple. Couple у нас будет пара couple. Couple, couple, couple. И, наконец, самое актуальное слово в последнее время – слово «заразный». По-английски будет contagious. Contagious – заразного, сажаем на контейнера, изоляцию контейнер. Contagious, contagious, contagious. Повторим слово сначала с английского языка. А теперь с русского на английский. С такой скоростью ты освоишь 1000 новых слов за неделю. Слова – это лишь малая часть изучения английского. Если вы хотите наконец-таки освоить этот английский язык, приходите на 5-дневный бесплатный марафон, на котором вы узнаете десятки таких техник и будете практиковаться и еще раз практиковаться. Регистрируйтесь переобучения.
Ну это он имел в виду. Так я знаю, что полно таких умников. Что ты уже это говорите? Да. Видишь, как тут, да, как какой-то был, да. Да. А ради чего тебе новшество? Вот какие новшества? Ради чего? Что ты хочешь в этом? Мне тоже интересует это. То есть они вообще нужны, ну хорошо, ради чего? Нет, а вот сейчас не надо никаких там послезавтрашних каких-то всяких ваших хиней вот этих. Да, понимаете. Да. Чтобы будущее там вообще там любви. Ты просто хорошо от этого, ты любишь просто, да.
Шоколадки.
Нет, это должно быть нужно для жизни. Да. То есть так, что у тебя иначе никакой не да, понимаешь? То есть ну разве что что-то жена,
Нет, персонажи приходят скоро.
Ну понимаешь, короче, да.
Тюльпаны. На самом деле, сейчас не такой большой как летом, было, конечно, что зима, но, в принципе, есть чего посмотреть, и очень удивительно, потому что был день Святого Валентина, и выбор до сих пор большой, очень много цветов. Летом мы всегда здесь берем подсолнухи, всякие классные цветы, поэтому, да, заходите тоже.
Гриффиндауре почти не осталось заправок, вот одна из, кто спрашивал...
Госдума, что ли? Госдума жесткая,
Сейчас я вам все
да?
расскажу. На самом деле, я думала, здесь будет большая штука с ценами, но нет. Поэтому вот на сегодняшний день цены вот такие.
Хотела сказать, что канадцы, ребята, не суеверные, поэтому цветы продают десятками. Никаких вот этих четных, нечетных, какой-то фигни. Короче, цветы. Вот я купила тюльпаны, 10 штук заплатила $12 канадских, то есть это 600 рублей. Я не знаю цен в России, поэтому вы мне скажите, дорого или дешево.
Ну уже да. Ну да, вообще да. Канадские же.
Здесь вот уже Монреаль такой Монреаль, прям вот. Там еще лестницы крученые, здесь не видно их. Но да, совсем по-другому все выглядит. Полиция, здрасте. И вот мы пришли в мой любимый кофешоп. Сейчас вам расскажу.
Кстати, когда покупаете кофе с наливом, дают кофе бесплатно. Я взяла попробовать сегодня молоко из макадамии. Я вообще первый раз, на самом деле, слышу, что такое, я даже не знала, что это существует. Очень классно, на самом деле, как обычное молоко, потому что макадамия сама по себе, в смысле, сам по себе орех жирный и очень классно, и очень сладенько. Надо посмотреть, сколько там углеводов вообще. Но если так же, как в орехах, то должно быть нормально.
Я решила, что крышку я не буду брать, я же эко-френдли, хоть я взяла уже стакан, но как бы с кем не бывает. Да ведь? Да ведь. А вообще у нас на районе примерно вон там есть канал. Летом мы очень часто вдоль него гуляем, но сейчас как бы еще свежо. И я вам представлю немножко видео света, чтобы вы понимали, что вообще там есть.
Спасут ли вас $300 в день? А 1000? Это изменит вашу жизнь? Присаживайтесь. Они могут появиться...
Все об одном, да. Ну это он имел в виду, да. То есть тебе это, ну смотри, ладно, ничего. наоборот. Да. Да. Эй! В руках наоборот, наоборот. Ударники. Да, всё. Да, наоборот.
Здравствуйте. Меня зовут Евгений Абрамов. Да, я именно тот парень, о котором вы можете прочитать в Forbes и других экономических журналах.
Okay, going. Hey everybody, welcome here on Saturday afternoon. Trying to get centered here. Before I get started, the discount code for today is RB900. Same as last week. I decided to go with that again because it's last week I hit my 900th video upload on the channel, which is pretty ridiculous to think of when I think of how long it takes to make a video that I've made 900. I've actually made over 1,000 because if you follow me on Rick Beato 2, there's plenty, and then if you put all the videos I've had blocked together, all the live streams I've had blocked and things for playing certain music, I'm way over 1,000 videos, but I have 903 videos or so. I think this is my 903rd or 904th on my channel. 65% off my Beato book, 45% off my ear training program, and 45% off my guitar Quick Lessons Pro guitar course, which is 5 hours of guitar instruction based on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, follow me at rickbeato1. And let me just talk a little bit about the kind of what all this stuff is for and how it relates to today's video topic. So I have one person that works here with me, and it's Billy. You guys met Billy last live stream I showed you Billy. Billy's been in one or two of my videos. And most YouTube channels that have a couple million subscribers have an editor and all these things, and I don't have an editor. I edit my own videos. Billy edits some of the videos, but you know, the Sting video I edited myself. The Pat Metheny video I edited. I have to edit these videos because I have a certain aesthetic that I want to put forward of how, you know, how the shots look, and it's just, since I'm going to be looking at the edit anyways, I may as well just sit down and do the edit myself. And it takes a lot to edit an hour-long video, or, you know, my video with Brian May, or my video with Pat Metheny, which was an hour and 46 minutes, or my video with Seal, or my video with Peter Frampton. All these videos that I've done interviewing my musical idols, these are really involved multi-camera shoots. I had to hire a film company up in New York to shoot at the power station. Now, I didn't tell anyone I was doing this because with Sting, because in case it didn't happen, I didn't want to say, hey, I'm interviewing Sting, and then it doesn't happen. So, you know, you all understand that. So I never count these things until they've actually occurred or so. But this is the direction that I've wanted to take the channel the past year, is to do some more of these interviews of my idols, musical idols. Sting being one of them, obviously Pat Metheny, Ron Carter, you know, Peter Frampton, getting to have dinner with Joni Mitchell. And all of this is because of this channel, because of you guys watching the videos, essentially. The reach of my channel is why I've gotten to meet these people, because they have followed my channel. Why? Because they get suggested my videos just like anybody else. They turn on YouTube. If I make a video on Brian May, or if I make a video on Pat Metheny, or a video on Sting, they get recommended those videos. The algorithm is great at doing that, and Sting saw my videos. He saw, you know, why Sting is uncopyable, and he's seen some other videos of mine where I talk about his music. So, you know, people reach out to me, and I mean, not personally, you know, some people do, and I'll, you know, video chat with them, like with Brian May beforehand, and Brian and I then did the Bohemian Rhapsody together. We're actually working on a new video together, and Sting, I met, his publicist reached out to me about this. He has a new record coming out, and Sting is a fan of the channel, and you know, I decided to do. He's based in New York, and I went back to Berkeley to the power station where I did the Pat Metheny interview. Pat lives in the New York area as well. And it just seems like a logical place to do it, at a recording studio. And I have to pay for studio time like anyone else. They don't gift me the time or anything. I have to hire a film crew. And this is what the things, you know, people, you know, when you support my channel, either through donations or, you know, buying something that, like my ear training course, or my piano book, or my guitar course. Those are the things that actually pay for this stuff. Because I pay out of my own pocket. I don't have any sponsors. You guys know the whole thing. I just haven't found a sponsorship thing that feels right to me yet. But the thing that I'm going to do is not have the content. I want to do what I want to do content-wise. Videos that are fun to make and that are interesting, that I think are informative. I did an AC/DC video. I did the video last weekend where I talked about blocking, and then my next video was blocked with AC/DC, right? And I thought to myself, I've spent all this time making those top 10 AC/DC riffs, load the video in, boom, it gets blocked. Because it thought that You Shook Me All Night Long was the actual version. So I thought to myself, I didn't know what to do. And I thought to myself, wow, okay, how do I make this happen? Well, I realized that it happened one other time, and it happened when I did a cover of Back in Black 3 years ago or so. It got blocked because it thought it was the original recording of that. So what I did was I went in and changed the bass note and played it a little bit sloppier, and it got the video unblocked. Okay, so that's these are the things to deal with that I still am dealing with. It doesn't matter how many subscribers you have, you get videos blocked just like anybody else. There's no tricks to this or anything. It just it is the way it is. So, you know, people ask me, what's it like, my friends, what's it like to sit there and interview Sting, right? I mean, I've been listening to Sting, as I said, I think in the interview, since I was in 10th grade and Roxanne came out. I saw the Police on August 7th, 1983. How do I remember that? Well, I got the worst sunburn of my life on that day at Hollander Stadium in Rochester. It was incredibly scorching, the sun, and it's funny because Sting's guitar tech, Danny, was at the studio in New York, and he was the guitar tech back then because he's been guitar teching with Sting since 1979. Now that's pretty ridiculous. So I said, Danny, and I've seen his name before in you know, on records and seen him thanked and on Police records and things like that. So I said, so you were there for all these records, like. You were there when they recorded Message in a Bottle, and Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, and Spirits of the Material World. He's like, yeah, I was there from the third record on. Everything, all the solo records, everything. He heard all of those songs recorded. He tuned the instruments, did the setups, everything for them, and there he was in New York at the studio setting up the Sting's, and he brought Sting's bass and bass amp. And Sting brought his guitar, which he didn't play, but he had a custom guitar that he plays, like a parlor guitar, that he showed me that's absolutely beautiful. And Dominic Miller I'm a massive fan of. His guitar playing is amazing. He's been playing with Sting for 30 years, and
For me especially, Grammarly is very, very helpful with writing business emails because, as you know, English is not my first language. When you upgrade to Grammarly Premium,
the thing I think about when I'm doing these is, like, I don't have to study, thank God, to do an interview like this. I know their music on many different levels. I know how to play it. I mean, I know how to play Sting songs. I know the bass parts. I know the drum fills. I know the guitar parts. Doesn't matter if it's the Police or a solo catalog. I know what notes he's singing in the melody in relation to the chords, whatever. And I can talk about the songs on many different levels. But I think about them as a fan. Like when I got to have dinner with Joni Mitchell, I talked to Joni, and ask her questions, all the questions I've wanted to ask my whole life that you want to ask these people. I always think I ask the questions that you guys want to hear or musicians want to hear. I want to be in the room. When I asked Ron Carter, when I interviewed him, what's it like to be in the studio with Miles Davis? How far apart did you guys stand from each other, Oh, well, we stood close at first, and we realized the further apart we got, the better the sound was, and eventually we were into ISO booths, What's it like to be on these classic recordings, these people that actually did it? Sting, like I always say, I said it to Brian May, people don't realize that these recordings don't just appear out of nowhere. The songs are written, and they are recorded in a place and time, and then we enjoy them, but they become these mythical things. But they still they're made up of all this hard work. You think about all the vocal tracks on Bohemian Rhapsody, right? Or any song by Queen, how meticulously well recorded they are, or any Sting song or any Joni Mitchell song, and how many records they have, and how many songs they wrote over their careers. and it's really astounding. And those are the things that I want to talk about. A lot of people ask me, do I get nervous? And I don't really get nervous because I think of them as musicians. And it's like being on a gig with somebody, you know. It's Vinny Colaiuta played with Sting for, I don't know, 10 years probably, and I played with Vinny. I've known Vinny for 35 years or so. I played with Vinny. As soon as Sting came in with Dominic, we were talking about Vinny. We talked about different things, and Sting's like, how long have you known Vinny for? This is before we started recording, and Sting had just come from the dentist. He told me that laughing because he said, I need to get a cappuccino. So the first part of the video, he was kind of maybe a little bit reserved until the caffeine kicked in. So that's the thing that I think about. You know, if I got caught up in thinking, oh my God, this is the person that you know was saying wrote Synchronicity 2 or whatever, that you know, maybe I would fall into something like that. But I just don't think of that. I think of them as other. I just think of them as musicians, and musicians that I really respect, whose opinion I really, you know, want to hear about their experiences. And I mean, Sting is unbelievably talented. People say, you know, some people said in the comments that, oh, Sting didn't want to talk about the theory side of it. And, you know, there's the whole mystery. And I was like, well, you did play jazz, right? And Sting got signed and put out the first record when he was 27. So he was a jazz bass player for years. And you can't be a jazz bass player without understanding how chords are constructed. Because when you're walking bass lines, you have to, if you're playing standards, which he did for years, on bass, you have to actually know how chord progressions are constructed and how the chords are constructed, because in order to play the bass lines, you need to know what notes to play. So, you know, a lot of musicians always want to say, and I mean, that just doesn't go for just Sting. It's, you know, a lot of musicians, yes, there is a mysterious element to this. There is the inspiration for it. But somebody like Sting, he knows exactly what notes they are in relation to the bass note, right? Because he talked about the bass note and the melody. Well, he knows what the bass note is. He knows what the melody note is and how they relate to each other, right? And he said that he practices them very slowly, and that's how